All right. Today we are going with a classic monster. Or, well, kind of classic. Well, I mean, we've seen ancient apes, we've seen massive aliens, we've seen destructive elementals and creatures of mythic lore. But what about a lizard? What about Droom? Droom the living lizard. Let's do something simple. So what is Droom? Droom is just a massive version of a Droomedia Rex lizard. That's basically, he's just a giant Droomedia Rex. What is a Droomedia lizard? I have no idea. I don't think it exists. Nothing came up when I Googled it. Nothing, well, except this book, Nothing But Droom himself. So I would wager a guess that it just doesn't exist. Droom has a few key features in his appearance. He is green, with his body covered in green scales. He has claws on both his hands and feet, as well as razor-sharp teeth, and a prehensile tail. He is super strong and super durable. He is capable of lifting an impressive 100 tons. He is nearly invincible when it comes to conventional weapons. Also, he is capable of surviving in the vacuum of space, as we will see later. So you're probably wondering how this lizard became so massive. Well, it all starts with a scientist, as it always does. This time, his name is Henry Gordon, and he is working on a growth serum. The idea is that the world is becoming overpopulated and our food supply simply can't keep up. So Henry Gordon decides that the best way to deal with it is to concoct a serum which will make the food grow huge. And he's not a crackpot, it actually works. He goes to visit his friend Arnold, who is the curator of a museum, to show him the working serum. However, Arnold happens to own a Droomedia Rex, which, for one reason or another, finds the serum to be quite tasty. He has his fill of the serum and immediately starts to grow to massive size. Not only that, he seemingly mutates with new claws and teeth to the point where he is a giant monster. So now Droom is huge, and this is not like immediately a problem. He is actually kind of calm. He crashes his way through the museum and makes his way through the city. However, a giant lizard simply must be dealt with in one way or another, so the military decides that they need to come up with a plan. Eventually, they decide that Droom is so tremendously huge that the only way to deal with him is to use a nuclear warhead. Which I guess would have worked, except for the simple fact that the nuclear plane, which was meant to drop the payload, flew directly over Droom, and Droom is so completely huge that he just literally grabs the plane right out of the sky. It's actually kind of impressive and terrifying at the same time. So now we have the final hope to save humanity from the chaos of Droom. The new plan is to place rockets on Droom's feet and launch him into space, which is a terrible plan. Yes, I thought so too. Or at least it would be a terrible plan if this were real life, but this is a comic book, lucky for us, so it works. And Droom is launched into space, where he enters into a catatonic state, floating through the vast dark forever. And apparently Droom floated through space in this catatonic state for 10 million years. Yeah, count them, 10 million years. And now, are you ready for the twist of this story? Okay, check this out. After 10 million years of floating through space, Droom lands on a planet where he becomes that planet's first life form. He would breed and cultivate a new species without a female. I don't know how, it's not explained. Where he would cultivate a new species of giant lizards on this specific planet. These lizards would come to be known as dinosaurs, and the planet he landed on would come to be known as Earth. Boom. Twist ending. The story didn't even take place on Earth. Droom actually took place on an alien planet this whole time. Also, since he was the first inhabitant of Earth, that technically makes Droom the first and oldest being in the Marvel Universe. Fucking strange. So now, where did Droom pop up after this? Well, Droom would make an appearance in a sort of funny kind of comedy crossover. It's a very strange book. It's called Fantastic Four and Iron Man Big in Japan. And in this interpretation, he has more of an aquatic reptile look. His features are more of that of an aquatic lizard. In fact, he looks nothing like Droom. But trust me when I say it's Droom, it's the Japanese manga version of Droom. Next, we have Droom as he appears in a single story called Monsters on the Prowl. At some point, Droom became a part of the Collector's collection, but eventually he breaks free and goes on a rampage in New York City. He also gets into a big fight with the Hulk, but he loses because, as we all know, say it with me, Hulk is the strongest one there is. And that's it. Aside from being drawn into some back panels and being featured in a few compilation books, that's it as far as Droom is concerned. There's not much here for this character, which is a bit of a shame. He makes a great classic monster. He's a great stand-in for a Godzilla type character, and there's nothing better than a giant lizard to do battle with, which, now that I say that out loud, I kind of realize Marvel Comics did acquire the Godzilla license, making Droom kind of obsolete. So that makes more sense. But anyway, that's it for this comic. If you liked reading this comic with me and you want to read more comics with me, like this video and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, nerds, stay heroic.